Hey, folks, how are you? Hey, folks, how are you guys? John, are you going to be stepping on me the whole time?
Yes, the whole
Hey,
time.
folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, missing his cue, our resident
Yeah.
millennial.
To
John,
be to be fair, that was your fault for not telling me that where mics are live.
I was saying,
So you
yeah,
usually
well,
say, "All right, going
you
hot."
know what? You know what? We were
Same.
running behind a little bit. We were catching
Yeah,
up, and I was
yeah,
running behind. I was like, "Oh shit!" That's why I was like, "Hey, here we go." I
yeah.
said that. You should have caught me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, but we're here, and you know
We
what?
are here.
We're just shooting the shit. We're just shooting the
That's
shit,
right.
John. It's this is not it's not like a final exam, a midterm, or anything like that.
Right.
It's just us shooting the shit, John. It's just us shooting some shit. But anyway, how you doing this evening, John? You doing all right?
Yeah, pretty good. I've actually been doing pretty good all week. It's pretty sweet.
Hey,
I in particular enjoyed our filling the gap episode on Monday.
did you?
That was fun.
Did
I
you like?
did. I
Did you
really
like
enjoyed
fill in
it.
the gap?
I love filling that gap.
Every chance I get, I love to fill that gap.
Yep.
If you can, whether it's with a little laughter or whatever, sometimes you just gotta fill that gap. If she laughs at you, she laughs at you. You roll with the punches.
That's right.
That's how we roll. Uh, but hey, I don't know if you've made any announcements or said anything outside of we said something about it on Monday night, but for anybody who doesn't know, we are going to make sure, and we're going to be doing a movie night tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We're going to off camera, and we're not going to be on the stream, but we're going to be making some announcements in Discord. It's going to be about 8 p.m. Eastern. I think we decided on that. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yep. That's what
Hopefully
I've been
that
telling everyone. So
hopefully
it's
that'll
kind of locked
catch
in stone
folks.
now.
And we're just gonna zoom. We're gonna do it through Zoom. I think is what we're gonna do, and then I'll be playing the
Yeah.
movie. It's one of my all time favorite Christmas classics. It's gonna be National Lampoon's
Fantastic movie.
Christmas Vacation. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the best in my opinion. There's some great Christmas movies out there. Don't get me wrong, because Miracle on
Mhm.
34th Street, the remake of it, with Dylan McDermott, it's right there. It runs it's a 1.5 on my scale. I got my number
Out of
one, but it's
two
a
or what?
1.5.
Oh, gotcha.
But it's just a great movie. So we're gonna watch that tomorrow night. Anybody that wants to join, we'll see how many people we can get on a share a screen with and watch this thing, and just have a little bit of fun. Try and get a little bit of that holiday spirit. Since everybody's going to, instead of coal this year, everyone's going to be getting the vaccine in their stocking. uh, I see Elephant Man has joined us over on D Live. Good to see you this
Hey.
evening, Elephant Man. Anybody who's watching, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe buttons if you have not. All those wonderful things that tell us how much you love us. Um, and
Right.
just outside of that, was there something? We don't have anything else going on other than we want to make sure that folks are making sure it's seeing John at 1 o'clock
Yeah.
during the day for his lunch hour stream. This week you were touching on you've been touching on the Jedi versus
Well, the
Sith
Star Wars philosophies in general.
Star Wars
Because today,
philosophies.
yeah, today we did the Mandalorians. So that was particularly fun. I
Okay,
liked them a
gotcha,
lot.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And
There's some very libertarian adjacent ideas.
really, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to find out more about that, all you gotta do is go to our channel and scroll down just a little bit. It's the stream right before this one.
Yeah, I should probably watch it. I know the guy that does the stream, so
Yeah,
I
I'm sure
should
he'll be all
watch
right
it.
with it.
But I have to tell you now, this is not to knock that guy, but listen to him go on for an hour. I've done it before, many times,
Well,
sometimes for
luckily they're
many
not an
hours
hour
on
long
end.
though.
Huh?
Luckily they're not. Luckily they're not even close to an hour.
I
So
know, but it would probably feel like that, wouldn't
I
it?
suppose probably.
No, but please do go check John out during your lunch break at 1 o'clock. That's Eastern Standard Time, the only true time zone. I still call it
Hmm.
Eastern Standard Time. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Um,
Call it whatever I want. It's a real time zone.
yeah, I mean, at least I don't go with what is it, Eastern Daylight Time?
Yeah,
Remember
it's
when it
not
used to be that?
nonsense. Whatever. It's EST, man. Calm down. Like everybody, fucking calm down.
So, so
People know what you mean, you know.
I mentioned the
But
vaccine, but I just wanted to put this out there. This the the newest attack on the administration is going to be is this official who was putting out email is had an email out that was talking about um, Trump needed to employ the herd immunity mentality strategy. Basically, you know, warn those in risk zones, the ages, to stay put and let everyone else go do their thing. That all the people that would live through it, that stand the best chance of making it through and build up a herd immunity to it. And so now everybody's going off on it. They're all like,
of course,
this is the government. They wanted to let millions of people die. They didn't care. Oh my God, they
government
wanted.
kills millions of people anyway. They don't need a fucking virus to do that. They're pretty damn good at. It's one of the few things government is good and efficient at. Not even efficient. I wouldn't even say that, but they're very good at killing people.
Well, let me ask you a question. And now this is going to sound really, maybe far fetched, but if you're a guy, so you say you're the boss, right?
Hmm.
And you sit down at a table full of people and you say, I need ideas on how to solve this problem.
Yeah.
You're going to get a bunch of suggestions.
Right.
Some of them, some of them are going to be far fetched,
Yeah. I don't
not
think that one's
feasible.
far fetched, but
Right.
yeah.
You know, but this is what we just to go after the man, like, and they're trying, they're going, it's literally like they're trying to go after Trump on this
Right. Well, he's
in
the
the
lightning
mainstream media.
rod. Yeah, he's the lightning rod for leftist criticism.
But why now? They need it, you would think that they could just say, you know what, we can shut up, we don't have to go after him anymore.
No, you don't understand. That's clicks, man. Clicks. They get all their clicks by being like, "Oh, look what the orange man did today. Like, look what he did, the
Because
bastard."
the narrative is about to change in about a month. In about a month, we're going to see.
Yeah.
Well, I say the narrative's going to change. They've already been dropping, they've been sprinkling it into the media here over the last couple of weeks. I've seen it because as of the inauguration, the new narrative is going to be talking about the possibilities of prosecuting the man now that he's not president. Now, to prosecute Trump for criminal activity and behavior
Hmm.
during and before his presidency.
Right.
And they've already been talking about it a little bit, but this is going to be the new angle they take, especially with the pardons. That's the thing right now, is talking about who all he's going to pardon and all the speculations about pardoning this person and that person, and who's going to be on the list. And I have a feeling. I mean, Julian Assange, he pardoned him,
That's fucking amazing. Yeah.
right? So now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, is he going to pardon Snowden? He already who was the first guy that he pardoned? What was it? God, now his name is escaping me.
Yeah. I don't remember.
You know who I'm talking about? Flynn, Michael
Oh yeah,
Flynn.
yeah, yeah. Uh huh.
Um, Now I'm willing to bet, just to be safe, he throws an honorary pardon out to Rudy Giuliani.
Maybe, but I think no, I don't know. But I think with the pardon, don't you already have to have been convicted?
Well, they're talking about him pardoning himself.
Right. That's
About
what I'm
whether or
saying.
not he could.
I'm not sure
Right.
that's how a pardon works. I
Well,
don't know. I'm not like a legal expert. I just thought that it was you had to be convicted first
we had
and
to
then
look at, see, a part of me, I've heard this before about pardoning someone preemptively, and
hmm.
basically the idea that um, either it's during the course of their presidency, that if any crimes that were committed by the person during the presidency, or up to that point. I'm not sure how it works, but it's been talked about like it's a plausible thing,
Hmm.
not just in Trump's presidency. So again, I'm no expert on it, and that's something I should go ahead and educate myself on so that we really understand what he's capable of. I mean, many people
Yeah.
have already said they don't believe it's possible for him to pardon himself. That's kind of
Right. Well,
a given, though
that's an
he's
unprecedented legal question that hasn't been answered.
right.
We don't know if he can do that or not.
Yeah, and so well, and that's there of course all of it is based off of, well, if we're going by the law, this is how it would probably be interpreted, thusly, right? So it's pretty I don't know that whole mechanism was set up so the president could get away with fucking murder, as
No,
it
certainly
were.
that's not his intention for sure.
Now, however, what he could do is step down and leave Pence in office for the last
Right.
week and have Pence give him a pardon for anything
Right.
that he might
And
have
that
done
was
while president.
yeah, that's been discussed
That's
before
because
too.
I think that's what Nixon did. Was it Nixon that did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Nixon. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now
Um,
when I saw that, I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that, which then tells me, okay, that again opens that door for a get out of jail free card versus a pardon for actual crimes that you've been convicted of. Um,
yeah.
so it's a very, it's a very slippery area there, I'm sure. But a lot of people are saying if he did Assange, he should go ahead and uh, pardon Snowden as well.
Noted. Yeah.
Um, and I kind of agree there. One is equitable to the other, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know,
But
but
now both of them would be fools to come back to the U.S. though.
well,
Like, pardon or no pardon.
just because of the potential backlash from the
Right.
citizenry, like from
Not the
just
citizenry.
general people, or
Yeah, from like the elites. Not
oh,
not the people. The
gotcha.
people are on their side. You know. Yeah, the elites that are here, they're gonna try and fuck with them. If they're not gonna outright kill him, they're gonna try and fuck with him.
So you're saying that they might Epstein them?
Either that or get them on something else and throw them in prison like they've been trying to do for years.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how they got OJ, right? I mean, obviously OJ committed yet another crime after he was,
yeah. There was the
found
part where he was
guilty
he
or
kind of put
whatever.
himself out there, right?
Yeah,
There's that's
but I mean, we all know he didn't go to jail because I mean, he did rob a souvenir shop at gunpoint, but we all know that's not really why he was found guilty like immediately.
well, it wasn't. It wasn't
Um,
this. It wasn't even a souvenir shop. It was the
oh,
guy's
that's right.
hotel room
That's right,
that
right,
had
right.
his
That's right.
memorabilia,
That's what it was.
and he
Yeah,
wanted it back.
I misremembered that. Yeah, you're right.
Because I have a feeling he was planning on reselling that memorabilia
Oh yeah, for sure.
and making himself some cash.
Yeah,
But that you know I mean, it really did just go to show that he was kind of a criminal at heart. You're just a
that's
shitheel.
racist.
You really are kind of a shitheel. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm just saying. I don't know. Just because the glove doesn't fit doesn't mean you
Right. I
must
mean,
acquit.
that's like what you do. Next time you want to go commit a crime, just wear an ill-fitting glove, and then use the Johnny Cochran defense.
Look, I'm just going to say this, and I don't know how many people might be able to relate to it, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever said, "I'm sorry, honey, this one's too small. It just won't fit." But you must not quit.
Right.
you know?
That's
Uh,
funny.
So I'm not the first one to do that. So you can make a glove seem a little too small for your hand pretty
Well, yeah, didn't
easily.
he do like this
He had it
shit?
all
Like,
twisted, right?
yeah,
Like
he's
it was
all
like a
like,
James Coburn hand trying to
it's
put it in
like,
there.
dude, stop.
See, if they wanted that to be legit, they would have had a tailor, a professional tailor there who would have dressed him.
Yeah,
Somebody like that would put the glove. There are people who can put a glove on you just because that's their job. You know,
right.
um, because yeah, that was all crack and bullshit. But anyway, so when we talk about all of this, we think about this. Well, we can't get away from the fact that all of this that's going on right now with the presidency, a lot of people are saying it's a coup. A lot of people are saying that it has been building and in process for the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Actually, longer than that, apparently. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the name Patrick Byrne? Much?
No.
Okay, Patrick Byrne was the CEO of Overstock.com.
Mm.
He stepped down in, I believe it was August of this year. He announced that he was going to step down from that. And it was one of those things. He kind of did something that wasn't good, which was he was in a romantic relationship with a woman who we not too long ago accused of being a Russian spy. I believe you remember the name Maria Butina, right?
Right.
And
I
he
don't. I'm bad with names, but
apparently he
yeah.
he admitted that he was in a romantic relationship with her. So, um, and apparently claims that he was involved in a lot of deep state and
Nah.
espionage, things like this. And I'm like, okay, um, wait a minute. Now, I'm like, okay, so I'll just, I start to have questions. Of course, it's me, John. I'm going to question a guy like that, right? He's
Hmm.
just because you're dating a woman who everyone thinks, has discovered that she might be a spy. Why would they use the CEO of Overstock.com as an agent of espionage, right? It's curious, just kind of curious. Maybe he's got lots of international ties. But
Probably.
on the 14th, a video was posted, and I'm going to share it, and we're going to listen to it. It's about 8 minutes long, a little over 8.5. And I want to get your take on it,
Jesus.
John, because he has some pretty, what might be considered damning things to say about your favorite gal, Hillary. You ready for this?
Yeah. Elephant. Real quick. Elephant Man says Eric Swalwell knows why. You mean Eric Swallowwell, right?
Eric Swalwell, yeah. But
Yeah, Swallowwell.
Swellwell is good. I like that.
Swallowwell is what I said.
Swallowwell?
Jeez. Yeah.
Swallowwell. Gotcha.
Come on.
Gotcha.
I mean, I know it's low hanging fruit, but his
Yeah, it was
favorite kind of
really,
fruit. So.
it's that was
Ha.
that was hanging lower than your nuts will in 10 years.
Yeah, but they're hanging as low as his nuts. That was my point.
Gotcha.
God.
You're gay.
I
All right, let's check this guy out.
mean,
Before,
isn't
and I'm
he?
going to say it here. I bribed Hillary Clinton $18 million. dollars. I facilitated a bribe for Hillary Clinton on January 14th, 2016, right here in this town. On behalf of the FBI, they came to me around December 1st, 2015. They told me Hillary Clinton had accepted a bribe from Turkey for $20 million. dollars. They told me that I would be working for a group in New York, FBI agents, who had authorization to set Hillary Clinton up in a sting. They asked me to facilitate a bribe for her, an $18 million bribe from another government. The bagman from that other government was I was to befriend and I was to get that person 10 minutes alone in a room with Hillary Clinton. I did. On January 14th, 2016, Hillary Clinton was in this town and she met in a way that was kept off her schedule. She accepted an $18 million bribe. But General Barr knows this. This is the Durham. They know this was what is behind it all. And I'll even tell you, I'm going to drop one more thing. I've been waiting to say this publicly, and this is what really happened. I will tell you, if you hear this and you give me 90 seconds, your viewers will understand what's happened in the last 5 years in America. I've been waiting to say this on mainstream TV, and they will not have me back because once they understood what this was about. I had Hillary Clinton. I caused Hillary Clinton. I facilitated a bribe, and she took a second bribe for $18 million. And I worked with the FBI as I did that. They're deeply involved in this. They came to me 3 days later and told me I had to forget about it and forget that it ever happened. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they gave me one excuse. They said that Hillary's going to win, and it's been determined, it's been decided upstairs. Nothing's going to be able to stop that now. So she's going to win, and she's going to send her people over to the FBI and ask who was part of investigating Hillary, and any of us who were part of it are going to be destroyed, and that includes you too, Patrick. And so this mission has been scrubbed from the highest level. And I thought about that, and I said, "Yes, sir." And I came, but 2 or 3 weeks later, I was back with 3 federal agents this time. 3 federal agents. And I let them know that wasn't sitting, and this is in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that wasn't sitting well with me. And I'd like to know why we had almost a year before the election. They could have had me and another person in front of a grand jury in a week and gotten her indicted. And they told me, and this is the key to understanding what's happened in America. They told me, this is word for word, "Patrick, what's really going on is this: President Obama has his people across the federal bureaucracy at this point, but especially the Department of Justice. Hillary Clinton is going to be president for 8 years, and nothing's going to change that. But think of there being a Bunsen burner within the Department of Justice. That evidence about the 2 bribes you were part of gathering is going to be sitting on the Bunsen burner. And the hand on the Bunsen burner is going to be one of Barack Obama's people. If Hillary's a good girl and defends Obamacare, that flame stays low. If she's a bad girl and thinks for herself, it's going to get turned up high. That way, Barack Obama is going to manage Hillary Clinton for the 8 years she's president, and then she's going to step down, and Michelle's going to run. And Patrick, that's the plan." That came out of the lips of a federal agent. It was confirmed to me this spring. The Durham investigation that plan was called the Operation Snow Globe. That was Brendan Obama's name for it. Snow Globe, they were trying to get Hillary to step into a snow globe. I'm looking for a prop. A snow globe that anytime they wanted, they could then pick up and shake for 8 years. My bribe was the bait to get her to step into the snow globe. That's all from it. This isn't a theory. I'm the guy in the room. I'm acknowledging I took part in all this, and I thought I was helping them conduct federal law enforcement. It turned out that I was helping them set up Hillary Clinton for a deep state to control her. That's why, and I came in public a year ago with some pictures that showed me with this Russian redhead, Maria Butina, lovely woman, that said, and so I'm saying this entire thing, this last 5 years, has been.
She was a lovely woman, John.
Apparently.
Lovely woman. She may have been Russian spy, but she was a lovely woman.
Lovely, yeah.
A coup. It was from Obama against Hillary, that when Trump won in a fluke, it got morphed into the Russian collusion delusion. And I say that as the guy that had romancing Maria and bribing Hillary Clinton. So I'm about as involved in this as you can get, and I promise you that's exactly what happened. And what we're seeing here is the last act play out. I was the last act play out. And the reason I mentioned that I knew in October 2018 that this was going to happen was because in 2018 I was offered, a federal agent came to tell me, "Patrick, you need to understand there are billionaires walking around this world that we made, and we're prepared to do the same for you. You just have to stay calm. You just have to stay quiet through the election." And by that election, I knew he meant 2020 election. So I've known that they were going to hijack this election since October of 2018.
All right. So, and now, to be honest, we don't have to go through the whole 8 minutes. Most of it's pretty much the same thing. No other startling revelations. So, before I say my 2 cents, what are your thoughts on that, John?
While his story is obviously plausible, and I very much want it to be true. You have no idea how much I would like that to be true. And it might be true. But at the same time, we know of so many other things that Hillary has done that, like, they can control, like, they have so much more to control her on. But that's the thing, is I'm not sure that she's one to be controlled. I think isn't she one of the controllers?
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess they kind of control each other and they make these power moves like that against each other all the time.
Right.
So I don't know. Um, I mean, I would very much like it to be true, but I mean, with anything, I'm going to be skeptical of it, just because it's too on the nose. Like
Okay.
it's
So
too plausible. I think, and not that I disbelieve him. I don't necessarily believe him or disbelieve him. I don't know. Um, but it very much seems like something that could happen. So it is plausible, but at the same time, I don't know.
well, here's what I will say. I think that a lot of what he's saying is full of shit. And
Hmm.
only from after having watched it a couple of times, usually I start watching the body language.
Yeah, I was trying to
And
watch the body language a bit.
and I've got it playing with no sound, but you will see different times like throughout this whole thing, most of his head motion is side to side
Hmm.
when he's saying things. You watch his eyes, he's constantly looking to the
Looking around.
script in his head or
Right.
closing his
Yeah,
eyes, looking
not
to
making
the.
eye contact.
Now, this is a CEO of a company who should be well versed in speaking in front of people, even from memorized stuff. He also gives some verbal things, reiterating that this is true, reiterating that this is what someone said word for word. This really happened. This really,
Yeah.
these are
So
the,
there's a couple of things that could explain this. One, he's looking over his. He's usually looking over his left shoulder. Am I right? His left, not ours.
well, he's kind of glancing off to, yeah, his, what would be his left.
Okay, so that is
Now,
usually
it's
more of an indication of like trying to, as far as I remember, that's more of an indication of trying to remember something, whereas looking over the right
right.
side is more trying to like deceive.
Now,
That is a real like body language
sure. But he
thing,
gave,
and I think it's to the left. I can't remember exactly, so don't quote me on that. But
right. But
it's
one
more
of
of
the,
a. Oh, go ahead.
there was another verbal clue that let me know that he was, he seemed to be going off of rehearsed material. When he was talking about, when he is explaining something, but he steps back to clarify, oh, this was at such and such a place or at this time, and then jumps back and continues on with the story. When you go
Yeah.
back, because you're like, oh, I should have incorporated this detail because that's how it was on the list of things that I was going to talk about and how I
Well,
was
not
going
only
to say
that,
it.
but over like sharing more details than is necessary is usually an indication of
Hmm.
someone lying, right? If
Yes,
someone has a
absolutely.
lot of details in their story. Um, I don't know that he was doing that too much, but from what you're saying
There were
there,
a
it
couple of
sounds kind
times
of
that I
like
caught
that.
it.
But yeah,
Um,
um,
but
but also
oh,
you also have to think though, in his defense. So again, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not. I don't believe him. I don't disbelieve him. But the one thing that can explain him doing that is one, trying to remember, two, being excited or nervous to finally be doing this, but finally be putting this secret out in public that he's held on to for 5 years or four
right.
years. So
Well,
I
well,
don't know. It really could go
eh,
either way for me.
yeah, but for me, it's just, again, I tie in those verbal clues. Like when he says he's about to tell you something word for word, then
Yeah,
that
but
tells me he knows this information well enough that he doesn't have to like try and on the spot recall information, right? This should be,
right,
it should be more well rehearsed if you know something word for word that doesn't come out sounding like you're saying it word for word what was said to you, right?
right.
Again,
Well,
one of those affirmations that this is really what happened.
right. Well, some people do say that, like, he kept saying the agent came to me and he said Patrick, right? People don't normally start with, saying your name first and then going into whatever details. You know what I mean? It's not like he was saying the agent came to me and he shook my hand and he
Right.
said, "Oh, how you doing, Patrick?" You know what I mean? He just said, the guy came to me, he said, "Patrick, here's what we're doing." Right? So that seems to me more like like he's just remembering the most important parts of the conversation, because I'm sure there was more
I could give you
to
that.
it,
I
but
I could give you that. Again,
yeah,
it's just compounding indicators,
right, right,
right? But the last part that right there before I ended it, that was the intimating that he was working Maria Butina as well as working Hillary
right.
Clinton, and
That
now
seems like some CYA right there.
that sounds like a covering, and that then delegitimizes a lot of what he's saying, because it's like, okay, are you creating this story because
Right,
you want to form an allegiance with a billionaire, whether he does or does not maintain the office, but you create an ally with that billionaire who may come back into office, or one of his predecessors in the near future,
right,
and jump on a bandwagon of the coup and the deep state
yeah,
agenda. So, I part of me was like, okay, this guy has been reading some Tom Clancy novels and
right.
happened to
That
wind up
definitely.
dating a chick that wound up being a Russian spy.
Right. He's like, "Oh, this is just like that one one Tom Clancy novel." I don't know.
Right.
I haven't read much Tom Clancy, but
But overall, I mean, it's hard for me to buy into what he's saying, because he also said Attorney General Barr knew about this.
yeah.
Now, there is no way, in my
Well,
opinion, that he would keep that under wraps with
I don't
Donald
know.
Trump.
He's proven to be a deep state shill.
Well, okay.
I mean, just recently he proved it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't necessarily. I don't
Well,
believe him, and I don't not believe him. I don't have my mind made up about it. It is a lot there, and it's a major accusation.
right,
Now, don't get me wrong. If he dies within the next month or so, I'll believe him 100%.
right.
Like, yeah,
I mean, and again, it's like, okay, so I guess also, is it not a way to like discredit Barr, even though he's going to be leaving the DOJ? Is it a buck stops there kind of thing? He didn't pass it on to the president. Barr kept a lid on this too, right? And
yeah,
so Barr is the accountable one here, for them not pursuing a fucking crime that they set up and she fell for. I mean, that's
right.
that's a big one right there. I mean, you destroy any possibility of Hillary Clinton ever doing anything in the public eye again. Just indict her, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
who sits on that? She might run in 2020? You sat on it because she might run in 2020 and you wanted to hold it over her? Really? That's what you're going to go with? I'm
Yeah, I don't
sorry.
know.
I can't buy into that. I can't buy into sitting on something like that,
Well,
letting it happen.
if uh, if Michelle Obama runs in 2024, at least that part of the story will be confirmed. Although that might have changed since Trump was president for the first 4 years that Hillary was supposed to be, and then presumably Biden will be president for the second 4 years that Hillary was supposed to be president. So maybe the plans changed if what he's saying is true. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot. I should mention. I see Ron Helton has shown up, and I do see Jay Edgar over there in the chat. I have
Oh, what up, Ed,
turning
and what
his
up,
Bunsen
Ron?
burner. Ron is doing me. What is that? Are they emojis on D
They're
Live?
stickers.
Stickers,
Yeah, they're
stickers,
called stickers.
stickers. So I can see that you posted stickers. I have no idea what they are,
Well,
but
also,
I only see in the one chat.
Elephant Man has donated 111 lemons, one diamond,
That
and
is,
one ice cream.
we
That
should
is fucking awesome. Oh, and a lemon.
That there's like a whole thing. That's breakfast.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, Elephant Man. You're awesome.
Nice stuff. Nice stuff.
Yeah,
But
appreciate it, man.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see anybody having sat on this. This is something that this would have been a perfect thing to use at so many times, to just completely destroy whatever current narrative was going on, to completely take the public eye off of anything you wanted. I mean,
Yeah.
this would be a thing that rocked the mainstream media for God, it probably what 2+ years out of something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, just the trials and the buildups and the congressional hearings
Right.
and investigations that go
But see,
on surrounding the whole thing.
this is why none of them can be indicted. Because as soon as you get one of them, the rest of the dominoes start to fall. You can't have that. So
Do
nothing's
you
going to happen. Nothing's
do
going
you,
to come of it. Even if he's 100% accurate, if he's telling 100% the truth, nothing's going to come of it.
so what you're telling me is that if that domino were pushed over, dominoes would fall down the center of the aisle and spread to both sides.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. I'm
That's
not
the
saying, I
only.
would never say that Republicans are innocent. No, no way. Impossible. Yeah, you'll find a lot of Republicans in there. That's what, but I mean, you saw when the impeachment was going on, all the investigations into Trump, who was getting taken down? Who are the people that went to prison? They were all deep state shills, all of them. Bunch of neocons, neolibs, whatever. They all fucking went to jail. I mean, they went to jail, right? They had to go there and sleep at night or whatever, and they could go home, in the morning. Fucking retarded shit.
Lindsey Elephant Man says Lindsey
Yeah,
Graham.
Lindsey Graham. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's very intriguing to me how, again, this does take on a tone of House of Cards. Like, it's how
Yeah.
that stuff like that was not far off the base, that this crazy shit is going on. I mean, that is the ultimate reason why I have to question, the legitimacy of what he did say in all of that, is just the simple fact that it I cannot fully entertain the idea that everyone involved with that would have kept it this hush hush for this long.
Right.
It seems virtually impossible to me without a bunch of bodies being stacked up somewhere.
Yeah.
This would have leaked.
For
Somebody,
sure.
because there had to be
Even anonymously, somebody
there
would have
was a
leaked.
team of people involved, and there was obviously a foreign country involved too.
Right.
you know,
Apparently Russia. Ironically enough. Yeah.
again, it's like, how does it not come out? How do you not prosecute that level of crime? You know,
Because everyone's doing it. The people who would prosecute it are also doing it.
well, there you go. So
I mean,
I
you think she's the only one who's taken a massive bribe? Come on.
Yeah, well, again, that's what I'm saying. Elfman says they were kind of dealing with Trump, and I understand
Yeah.
that, but that's just it. You know, Loyalists to Trump. There have to be people that are loyal to Trump that were involved in that. Or at least loyal to his presidency, his administration,
Even if they
something.
were, though, again, the dominoes start to fall. As soon as even one of Trump's guys go down, dominoes start falling.
I mean, to keep, I don't know. So then I ask the question, okay, if it's legitimate, then how does Trump not know?
Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know what he
Right?
knows.
I would
I
I
don't
would
know.
question whether or not he knew,
Because I
and
don't think
then
he was that
that
serious about, when he was in the debates and stuff, when he was like,
put
oh,
her in
because he'd
jail,
be
put
in
her in jail.
jail and
Right?
yeah, lock her
Sure.
up and all
I
that.
didn't mean it. I didn't.
Right.
No, we're gonna
I think it
give.
was just amazing political theater because, like, what politician says to lock up other politicians. That doesn't happen. So that set him apart
But
from the
but
other politicians that were on those stages.
but you know
So
what?
I mean,
There'll be a money
it could just
trail.
been a strategy,
There would be a money trail on that. You don't give someone
maybe.
$18 million and there not be a
Well,
money trail somewhere.
no, no, no. So what they probably did was funnel it through the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, I'm
That's what
sure.
normally happens. So
But
that's a nonprofit, which means that they don't pay taxes.
sure, I understand that.
So then there's no
I'm
tax
just
for,
saying,
especially for Hillary herself. There's not like they dumped $18 million into her checking account.
sure, but
You
it's,
know?
the question, were they dumb enough to do it as one $18 million deposit?
Oh
Because
hell
then
no!
you look for the red marker or the red flag there.
Right? Yeah. There's
But you
no way.
look
No.
for, okay, if this happened at this time, look for monies that were transacted around that time and see if anything looks suspicious. You
Right.
can find that out for any of the public facing money funnels they have. The Clinton Foundation or whatever the case may be. They have their real estate holdings and all that other fun bullshit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think you could find out if it happened now that he's blown the whistle on it. But I'm still waiting to see how that goes. I mean, it's been picked up by some of the mainstream media, but of course,
Like who?
well, I think I
I'm
saw it.
just curious. I'm not like
No,
challenging you.
I want to say, did I see something? Business Insider, but was like one of the most
Hmm.
legitimate ones that I saw out of the three or four that were running something similar or about that story. But apparently,
Right.
he actually, one of the things he is doing, and I will mention this, apparently, he is funding a bunch of hackers, software people, this, that, and the other thing to try and attack this whole election thing and find
Hmm.
out the truth about Dominion software. So apparently, he's supposedly doing that. I don't know what will come of it, but you know,
Yeah.
he's he's going to put some money into it, I guess, and try and you know prove Trump right. Um,
Well, I mean, too little, too late. But that'd be cool.
um, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about tonight that is, I don't know, maybe on a lighter note, I just wanted to, touch base on this because it made me kind of curious, and I don't know enough about like what happens out in space, and maybe somebody in the audience does. Uh, real quick, Elfman says they took Flynn off the board early because he was the real president. The real press.
Huh.
Trump was just the electable person, so the DS had to take Flynn out first. Oh, the real press. Gotcha.
I
Ed,
haven't heard that take before.
Ed says the only news source you should use is the Gateway Pundit, most accurate. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't trust any
Everybody's got
fucking
an
body.
opinion. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah,
Now it's
I don't trust
Trump
anybody.
says it's Newsmax. Isn't it Newsmax?
I thought it was. I thought it was. OANN or something like that. I don't
I
fucking
don't
know.
know.
One of those shitty
Yeah, I don't
like.
know.
I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Yeah,
For
whatever.
next year, pretty soon he'll just be like, yeah, Rush Limbaugh is the only real media out there. I don't know. Watch. Yeah.
Well, I think he's gonna start
Yeah.
his own like
Yeah. They've
news
talked about that a little
station.
bit too.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of plans for the near future that are really gonna, make America great again. You But some
MAGA
people do say
network.
that him getting back on TV is the way to do it.
Oh yeah,
That's where he shines. Get back on
I'll
TV,
watch him.
right?
Shit, I'll watch
Will
him.
you?
Oh yeah, because then he won't have to. You think he's unfiltered now? You fucking wait. You fucking wait. He's gonna go off. I can't wait. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we'll see. That could be funny. He could create a movement, couldn't he?
For real, I'm saying that
Just
that's what he's trying to do. Yeah.
um, but anyway, so um, I just wanted to mention something that I saw that I thought was rather curious. I've known for a while that the Japanese had sent out a space probe and it was headed towards an asteroid and they were going to try and successfully get samples from this asteroid. Well, they did that, and the asteroid is called Ryugu. Um, and I've got a picture here
Yo.
of the
It sounds like ragu, but like in Japanese.
right. It very much does. So this is what the asteroid looks like. It's nothing spectacular. It's like a big diamond-shaped asteroid just floating out there in space, near Earth relatively. But when they got to it, it was a few hundred million miles from the planet, of course. But they
How
got
many parsecs
samples.
is that?
You would have to ask the navigator. Um, so,
Oh, okay. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. I was
but
gonna
the
say like parsecs is a unit of time, not distance.
But the samples, oh, I guess I should probably show you this too. So it sent back samples to the planet, and those have arrived on Earth, and they have opened it up, and this is what they found inside. So I think you see that dirt that's in there,
Yeah, I was gonna say
basically,
it
is what it looks like, right?
looks like dirt. Yeah.
Now they opened this up. There was a little bit of interstellar gas from the asteroid. Now that was
Space
interesting,
fart.
right? It's something to consider because they did say that they tested the gas and it was not Earth atmospheric composition, right? It
Right.
was a different composition, so they knew it was from out there. And I'm like, okay, woohoo! Did we disinfect everything? Were you, I'm like,
Oh,
what was
Elephant
the
Man's right. It
protocol?
is. Hang on, sorry. Elephant Man's right. It is a unit of distance, not time.
Yeah, think about
Yeah.
it,
Sorry, he's right. Yeah, I misremembered that. It is.
right? The things you talk about
Sorry.
on air, God. So this, they were, their main excitement came from the fact that this is a pretty good size sample of what they got. Now, understand this is kind of blown up, but those are millimeters across some of those pieces, and so they're very excited about that because they were expecting to get like dust, just a little bit of dust at best. But the most exciting thing they established immediately was that there are organics in this sample. Now,
Right. But what does
I
that mean exactly?
right. So that's the question I have because most media right now is just reporting this fact that happened because it just happened, right? So
Right.
that is my question, and this is for further discovery: is what exactly does organics mean? But one thing that we do know is that this asteroid came from its origin point is speculated or has been roughly determined to have come from a far off point in space. So
Well, yeah.
not near Earth, not from Earth, not of Earth.
Right.
So what exactly does organics mean? And because if it just means it's the organic, I don't know. Does that you call it organics if it's just the stuff that could support life?
Probably because if there was like some kind of microorganism they found, some kind of like organic life, that would be completely different, and they wouldn't just show you a jar full of dirt,
Right.
right? They'd be like, "Yo, here's what it looks like under a microscope." Isn't that crazy?
See, I have trouble not envisioning something like, okay, when they say organics, okay, I'm thinking decayed plant matter or decayed organics is what I'm thinking. Something that
Right.
was alive and is decayed, but I don't. I'm guessing that's probably not right because it would
Probably not.
be screamed about as a much greater discovery. But they
Yeah.
do say, and this is what they say about having that is that it will that it what was it that they said that it will allow them to get a better idea of the organic environment on the asteroid itself, um, which I'm like, okay, um, how does an asteroid gain organics or any possibility of that? If it's just so, I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be something that's just the composition of the soil would allow for organics, like I mentioned earlier. But I don't know. It does it pass through places where it could potentially spawn life? I don't know. It's not getting water. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
got ice on it, in the pockets of it or whatever. I don't know. It was crazy. But
Yeah.
something that you mentioned that
Yeah.
kind of ties in hand with this, which I thought was funny. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. Says a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are, Haim Ashid said. Uh,
Which is so funny because hang on, because they can't help but put Trump in every fucking headline. Like that's how you get. Obviously, that's how they got people to click on it, and Trump knows about it. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, why does that have to do anything with Trump? Anyway, go
Well,
ahead.
it's because of this. He says he's, apparently it says he's a respected professor and retired general. Ashed said the aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking to understand the fabric of the universe. Ashed said cooperation agreements had been signed between species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars, where there are American astronauts and alien representatives. He said there is
Nice.
an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. Ished added that President Donald Trump was aware of the extraterrestrials' existence and had been on the verge of revealing information but was asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria.
Well, so in my opinion, that's where it falls apart. I don't think it's about creating mass hysteria. I think it's about Trump wouldn't do it in the first place because he would seem completely insane. And he already has a hard time in the media with them trying to constantly prove that he's insane. And so saying something like that, unless he brought one of them out with him and was like, nah, this is like, like that Chappelle show skit where he's like, oh, this is my buddy, he's whatever the alien, you know, yeah, they're real. Like, unless he did that, no one's gonna fucking believe him. They're gonna be like, he's off his rocker.
Hmm.
Like, it's time to impeach. He needs to go. He's obviously not mentally stable. He's not mentally sane. Like, he needs to, it wouldn't be good for him to do that.
Um, Now, if you need these ideas that he has, you can get more detail about this from The Universe Beyond the Horizon Conversations with Professor Haim Eshed by Hagar Unai, published in November.
Hmm. But
He's not selling books. He's letting us know the truth is
right.
out
And
there,
the thing is,
but he did it in a book.
one thing that makes me think that it could be plausible is that Alex Jones, given enough time, is always proven to be correct. And he's been talking about that shit for years.
Yeah.
And it seems like everything that he says, seems to come to fruition. So I don't know, man. Wait, Elephant Man says this could be part of the the
Thea
IA,
Thea
Thea. I don't know.
or it's
Impact.
Thea
I don't know what
Impact.
that is. He says, "Occam's razor, guys. Come on. To which part, Elephant Man? Which part are we? Because I mean, I don't think the guy is. I don't think he's crazy, but I don't think he's necessarily right about this. I don't know. Let me know what you mean, Elephant Man. I mean,
Yeah,
you were
it's
right about parsecs, so I don't know. You could be right about this, but I'm just saying, Alex Jones, give it enough time, is usually proven correct.
uh, now apparently he's saying that if he had come up with what he was saying today 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized. He said today they're already talking differently. I have nothing to lose. I've received my degrees and awards. I am respected in universities abroad. I got my degrees. I'm just saying. So he should be taken seriously, John.
But is
John,
he?
take
You
him
said
seriously.
he is selling a book though, right?
No, it's somebody else wrote the book. He's just the guy that the author talked to.
Oh, okay.
So surely he's not getting any money from that.
Surely he's not
John.
getting a kickback. You're right.
John.
Surely
He's
not.
well respected, John.
Yeah, well,
You should believe him.
respect these nuts.
Uh-oh. Nick Pope, who used to investigate UFOs for the British Ministry of Defense, um, said either this is some sort of practical joke or publicity stunt to help sell his book, perhaps with something having been lost in translation, or someone in the know is breaking ranks.
Hmm. Well, obviously those are the the reasons that someone would do that, right? All of those are legitimate reasons why someone might do it.
Well, he says there are still some missing pieces of the puzzle here. That's Pope.
Right. You would
He's
think that the guy would
optimistic.
come with some. You think he'd come with some receipts, you know?
No, no, John. You don't
He's
have to,
just like,
John.
nah, guys, like source, bro, trust me. Like, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like the bro, trust me
People are
source.
we're at a point where we're receptive, John. We don't want overwhelming proof in our face right away.
Nah, fuck
We're
that, dude. Bring it on.
receptive.
Rip that band-aid off.
We're
Just rip the band-aid off,
we're
dude.
receptive.
No, have the ship show up in orbit where we
Look,
can all see it with our naked eye.
really,
I'm
they
just
want to.
saying, rip that band-aid off.
No,
Just rip it off.
they want to see how many people take the vaccine before they offer us the Kool-Aid, John.
I guess that's true.
Uh, Elephant Man says our solar system is so old it's probably just a piece of major impact event. Uh, Life has been affecting our solar system for as long back as we can see. Yeah,
Wait, so hang,
that's
I'm not a science guy, so I don't know any of this stuff. So I'm not like challenging you. I'm actually genuinely asking. Like, I thought isn't our sun relatively young compared to a lot of other stars? Like, I'm pretty sure that was the
right,
case.
right. But
So,
here's the thing. Here's the thing to consider is that when we're thinking about it, we're thinking about it from our lifespan and what we're seeing for the lifespan of these objects, right? So our young sun, how many millions of years is that going to be young, right? Versus the 100 years that these scientists live, right? I mean,
right, right,
how long
right,
you live in your lifespan. So,
right.
but even a red dwarf or a sun that's moving towards supernova, they still
Hmm.
have a sweet spot where a planet could support life. It just tends to either be closer to or further out depending on the size of the sun. Now that's not to say that you can't predict, you can predict that in say 5 billion years that sun is going to go supernova, but for the time being there's a planet that's not going to be impacted by that for another 2 billion years. So how do we get there to see if there's life?
Right. Yeah.
So it's all about categorizing the stars, finding out if there's planets there, and knowing whether or not they're in the right sweet spot relative to that star. Um,
Yeah.
because I know there's one celestial body out there that is in orbit around binary stars, and it is in a sweet spot where it could, potentially be a planet that would support
That's so
life.
cool. I like binary star
Right.
systems. That's a really cool idea.
Right. And they're on this, weird axis thing where they do some funky things in the sky kind of, it would be really fucking cool to be in a place like that, right?
I don't think
Um,
you'd want to be there for that long. I think the novelty would wear off after a while, but it would be cool to visit. Yeah.
wait, Ed says, are we just not going to talk about how Coconut Mommy and Massey introduced a bill to repeal the Patriot Act?
Uh, we only didn't talk about it because I didn't know that that happened.
Well,
That sounds pretty
I know
fucking
what we'll talk
awesome. That's
about on
that's more of a
Friday.
Friday thing, though. Yeah,
Right.
it's a Friday thing.
That's a Friday topic. So don't try and
Yeah,
do. Is Ed our new producer? Is
I
that
know,
what happened?
right? I didn't know we were paying him to
Now
produce
that's
this
not a
shit. No,
bad
I'm just
idea.
kidding, Ed.
You know
We love
what?
you, Ed.
You know what, Ed? If you wanted to step up as a producer for freedomscoop.com and like kind of, you know, tell us, direct
I
all
mean,
of
he
our
does.
shows,
He does already do like everything else for Freedom Scoop. So,
like we could literally attempt to, become a media narrative funnel,
oh God, no,
right? We could
no.
create our own narrative
That's
through these
no.
multiple shows.
That's the day that I leave Freedom Scoop.
No,
Is the
not
day that
not
someone tries to tell me what I
no, it
can
would be
and
it
can and
would
can't talk
no,
about.
no, no, it would be right in our vein. It wouldn't be
Hell no.
anything, it would be right in our, right up our alley. And Ed wouldn't shove it up our alley, right? He would glide it in there. He would make it work for us.
Plenty
Um,
of lube. Yeah.
Elfman says no Jagger because it's just more controlled opposition. Yeah, controlled
Yeah, I don't know
opposition.
anything about it. This is the first I'm hearing of it, so I don't have an opinion on it. Obviously, I would like to see the Patriot Act repealed. I just don't have any hope for it. Maybe I'm being cynical, but I don't
All
know.
right.
Given the
Well,
history of the Patriot Act, I don't think I am.
all right. So I just need to know who is Coconut Mommy first off.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay, and who is Massey?
That one I don't. I know the last name. I just don't remember right
So
now.
Tulsi
Then
Gabbard, who's in
yeah,
Hawaii, California,
Hawaii,
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to look
that's why
into
she's
that.
coconut mommy.
Tune in to Contemporary tomorrow for details.
If
Oh,
if I'm awake, I
so
will.
he was doing that to plug his show.
Yeah, I know.
How?
Scummy,
Wow,
Ed.
that's
Boo,
just wrong.
boo,
Wow,
shame,
you can't
boo.
even send a message and just ask for a legitimate, thumb. Hey, can you plug my show? I'm going to talk about this. I would do that. I got that. But no, you want to challenge us.
You want to
And try and
plug
make
your
us
own
look
shit?
stupid for not talking about the elephant in the room that we didn't know was there, and all just so you could blatantly publicize your own show. And I don't know, John. Egregious.
Yeah.
I that could be the word.
Boo, shame, boo.
Hey, and I'll leave. I want to leave you with a thought to contemplate, and maybe we can talk about this a little bit on Friday. But I want to put it out there, and, get some opinion, feedback. Hopefully on Friday's show. Is it wrong for a non-white person to do whiteface? I'll leave you with that, John.
I mean, I'll tell you my answer, but I mean,
Just stew on it,
okay,
but look for some
okay.
examples of it, and
Oh,
then let's
I know
right.
several examples. Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll want that, but let's stew on that a little bit, and
Okay.
tell these fine folks where they can find us if they don't know already. In your practiced and beautiful way.
Yes. Well, I have actually two new things though. One is
Two.
catch me Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern for your lunch break with John. We talk about so far we've talked about philosophy, but I'm not just restricting it to that. It can be any topic, so long as I have some kind of familiarity with it. Um, and I take suggestions as well. If you guys want to suggest a topic, I'll consider it for sure. And then tomorrow night, 8 p.m. also Eastern time, we're doing a movie night with you guys. So if you want to watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with us, it won't be streamed, so you don't have to worry about
Yep.
putting your face out there or saying something stupid. We're just gonna be hanging out with you guys. No stream, nothing like
You
that.
don't even have to be on video. Just you can be on
Nope.
voice in Zoom. It won't be a big deal.
Yeah,
Um,
just
yeah.
hanging out. Grab a drink, hang out. It'll be fun. And yeah, so those are the two things we have coming up. Or yeah, the two things that we have. Uh, and then after you hit that like and subscribe button, you can go down here to the description where you find our links to all our stuff. We got our Twitter, which is at the GenGapP, so follow us if you don't already. We got our Discord down there, and that's where you're going to receive all the notifications. Anytime we're doing anything anywhere, even if it's not on this channel, we'll notify you there. It's also a great place for conversation. We got our Subscribe Star, so if you like us a little bit, you can give us some money, which will help us do more of this, which I think is a good thing. It's pretty
We
awesome.
we like doing more.
And we got perks there too.
More or less.
We got perks, so you're not just giving us money to support us, you're getting something in return as well that normal non-subscribers don't get. Fucking pussies, right? Uh, and then we got freedomscoop.com, which is where you can find all of our stuff and other lesser unimportant creators like Stephen Ignoramus and Jay Edgar, Wyatt for the Breakdown with Birkenhoff. We got Mr. R-Rated Conservative and the Freckles and Brit show is over there as well. And if you would like to, you can purchase one of our t-shirts or one of our mugs, which we have over there. And if you put in the code GenGap at checkout, you get 15% off your purchase. It's a pretty damn good deal, I think.
Sweet. All right, folks. We truly appreciate all the conversation tonight and the chit chat and the eye-opening revelations. Of course, those are always important. We will be back again on Friday at 8:30. That'll be an interesting show. I think now it might be an interesting show. It was going to be terrible before, but we'll be back at 8:30 on Friday for our regular show, and then I think we can maybe we'll look for each other again on Monday night. At what was it, John? When did we start that? 9:30, 10?
No, yeah, 10.
Was it
10?
It
was 10 p.m. I think we can do it earlier though. We'll talk about it off mic, but
we'll see. But watch for us on Monday. We fill in the gap. We're going to do some fill in the gap. TBD.
Yeah, so
time TBD.
If you have any videos, any funny videos that you would like us to watch from YouTube, throw it into first of all, join the Discord and put it in the funny video submissions channel there, and you just might see it on the show.
Right, and just not cringe funny, just funny.
Oh, cringe funny too. Yeah,
not super cringe. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
We'll curate.
Oh, good Lord! Not super.
Put whatever
cringe.
you want in there. Put whatever you want in there.
Like
we'll curate.
Like not physical cringe. Like if I physically go, oh my God.
That's the best part. No, don't listen to Robert. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
No,
put your video in there. It may or may not get chosen. Is that a fair compromise?
Hey, you know what? Here's what I ask. All I ask. I don't care what you post. All I ask is that you make sure that it's got decent audio, solid audio all the way through, because I'm not, I can't play the ones that are going to jump up and down in volume like crazy shit.
Killing headphone users.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do it because I got to sit there and try and control the audio, because one moment is blah, 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 and the next moment is blasting your eardrums. But anyway, so fill in the gap Monday night, whatever you want. Put it out there. We'll curate it. Maybe you'll show up in the stream. If it is, you can give a thumbs up because that was me. That was great. And we'll give you a thumbs up and tell you how much we love you. Maybe we'll give you a shout out. But anyway,
maybe a big fat wet kiss too. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Who knows?
Anything. Then we'll also be back again next Wednesday at 9:30 for another rousing episode of Shootin the Sh&t. As John said, please make sure and keep an eye out for him at 1 p.m. Monday through Thursday for his lunchtime. What are you calling it?
Lunch break.
John? Lunch break?
Lunch break
lunch
with
break?
John.
Lunch
break with John.
With John? With John? Like, are you eating during?
I am not. No.
Then that's just rude.
But I encourage others to do so.
Right. But anyway, so lots of times to catch us and have some fun with us. Outside of that, again, thanks everyone for showing up. John, thanks for dropping by. We're going to get the hell out of here. We'll see you on the flip side, and peace out.
Yep, see you guys.
The war will begin.